Let's talk about a problem that's way too common but rarely gets the attention it deserves: toxic relationships. You know the ones, where you're constantly walking on eggshells, feeling drained after every conversation, and questioning your own worth. Maybe it's a partner who criticizes everything you do, a friend who only shows up when they need something, or a family member who guilt trips you into submission. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. Toxic relationships don't just hurt your feelings, they chip away at your mental health, your energy, and even your sense of self. And the worst part? Many of us don't even realize we're stuck in them until we're completely drained. But what if I told you there's a way out, a way to break free, reclaim your power, and start building relationships that actually lift you up instead of tear you down? The answer lies in an ancient philosophy that stood the test of time: Stoicism. Think of it as your 2,000-year-old playbook for dealing with toxic people and situations. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful Stoic principles that will help you identify toxic behaviors, set unshakable boundaries, and cultivate the emotional resilience to walk away from what no longer serves you. Ready to stop feeling trapped and start taking control? But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button if you're ready to reclaim your power, and subscribe to the channel for more life-changing Stoic wisdom. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your journey to becoming unbreakable starts here. Let's go. Step 1. Wake up and smell the toxicity, aka self-awareness. Alright, let's get real for a second. Toxic relationships don't start with a neon sign flashing warning: "This person will drain your soul." Nope. They creep in slowly, disguised as just joking comments, backhanded compliments, or that partner who always seems to make you feel guilty for wanting better. And here's the kicker: we often don't even realize it's happening. Why? Because toxic relationships thrive in denial. Think about it. How many times have you brushed off a hurtful comment with, "Oh, they didn't mean it," or convinced yourself, "It'll get better if I just try harder"? Spoiler alert, it rarely does. That's where self-awareness comes in, and Stoicism is your secret weapon. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, dropped this truth bomb: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Translation? You can't control what others say or do, but you can control how you respond, and whether you let it stick. So, here's your first step: wake up and smell the toxicity. Grab a pen and paper, or your notes app, and ask yourself, does this person add to my life? Or subtract? Be brutally honest. Do they make you feel supported, valued, and energized? Or do you walk away from every interaction feeling smaller, drained, or questioning your worth? If your gut is screaming subtract, it's time to stop gaslighting yourself. And let's be clear, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being. Toxic people often don't even realize they're toxic. They're just operating from their own brokenness. But here's the thing: you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Stoicism teaches us to detach from the emotional chaos and observe our relationships objectively. Picture yourself as a scientist studying your own life. What patterns do you see? Is your friend always canceling plans last minute but expecting you to drop everything for them? Is your partner constantly criticizing you under the guise of just being honest? Write it all down. Seeing it on paper strips away the excuses and forces you to face the truth. Once you've identified the toxicity, the next step is simple but not easy: decide what you're willing to tolerate. Stoicism isn't about being cold or emotionless, it's about reclaiming your power. And that starts with acknowledging what's no longer serving you. So, here's your challenge: take 10 minutes today to reflect on your relationships. Ask yourself, do they add to my life, or subtract? If the answer isn't a resounding add, it's time to act. Because here's the truth: you deserve relationships that uplift you, not ones that leave you questioning your worth. And it all starts with waking up and smelling the toxicity. Step 2. Control what you can. Hint: it's not them. Alright, let's talk about something that's going to blow your mind. you can't change other people. I know, it's frustrating. You've probably spent hours, days, or even years trying to fix someone or get them to see things your way. But here's the hard truth, the only person you can control is you. And that's actually great news. Why? Because it means you're not powerless. You just need to shift your focus. Enter boundaries. Think of your energy like a VIP club. Not everyone gets a backstage pass. Toxic people? They're the ones trying to sneak in without a ticket. And guess what? You're the bouncer. You get to decide who gets access to your time, your attention, and your emotional energy. This isn't about being harsh or cold, it's about protecting your peace. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus put it perfectly, no one can hurt you unless you let them. Let that sink in. When someone lashes out, criticizes you, or tries to manipulate you, they're handing you a grenade. But here's the thing, you don't have to pull the pin. You can choose not to engage. You can choose not to let their words or actions define your worth. So, how do you do that in real life? It starts with calm detachment. The next time someone tries to drag you into their drama, take a deep breath and say, I'm not available for this conversation. Boom. Power reclaimed. You're not arguing, you're not defending yourself, you're simply refusing to play their game. And trust me, nothing throws a toxic person off balance faster than someone who won't react. But let's be real, setting boundaries isn't always easy. Toxic people are experts at pushing buttons and crossing lines. They might guilt trip you, play the victim, or even try to gaslight you into thinking you're the problem. That's why it's so important to get crystal clear on what you will and won't tolerate. Write it down if you have to. For example, I won't engage in conversations that involve yelling or name calling. Or, I'm not available for last-minute plans unless it's an emergency. And here's the kicker, boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about saying yes to yourself. Yes to your peace. Yes to your mental health. Yes to the life you deserve. When you set boundaries, you're sending a powerful message, I respect myself, and I expect to be treated with respect. Now, I won't sugarcoat it, toxic people don't like boundaries. They'll push back, test your limits, and maybe even try to make you feel guilty. But here's the thing, their reaction isn't your responsibility. Your only job is to hold the line. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. So, here's your challenge, the next time someone tries to cross a boundary, channel your inner Epictetus. Stay calm, stay detached, and remember, you're in control of your reactions. You don't have to explain, justify, or defend yourself. Just say, I'm not available for this, and walk away. Boom. Power reclaimed. Because here's the truth, you can't control others, but you can control how you respond. And when you do, you take back your power, one boundary at a time. Step 3, build emotional armor, Stoic style. Let's face it, toxicity hits like a hurricane. 1 minute, you're minding your own business, and the next, you're caught in a storm of criticism, negativity, or straight up drama. It's overwhelming, it's exhausting, and if you're not careful, it can leave you feeling completely wrecked. But here's the good news, you don't have to let it knock you off your feet. In fact, you can learn to stand tall, no matter what comes your way. How? By building emotional armor, Stoic style. Stoics were like the emotional Navy SEALs of the ancient world. They didn't just survive chaos, they thrived in it. And their secret weapon? A mindset that turns criticism, insults, and negativity into opportunities for growth. Sounds impossible, right? But stick with me, because this is a game changer. Here's how it works. The next time someone throws a verbal grenade your way, whether it's a snarky comment, a backhanded compliment, or outright criticism, pause. Don't react. Don't fire back. Just take a deep breath and ask yourself 2 simple questions. Is this true? And if it is, can I improve? If the answer is yes, great. Use it as feedback and move forward. But if the answer is no? Release it. Let it go like a toxic cloud passing through the sky. And that's the key. Picture their words as clouds, and yourself as the sky. Clouds are temporary. They drift in, they drift out, but the sky? The sky stays vast, calm, and unshaken. That's you. No matter what someone says or does, you have the power to remain steady and grounded. Now, I know what you're thinking, easier said than done. And you're right. Building emotional armor takes practice. It's not about suppressing your feelings or pretending you're invincible. It's about training yourself to respond instead of react. It's about creating a mental space between what happens and how you choose to handle it. Here's a quick exercise to get you started. The next time someone criticizes you, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, is this coming from a place of truth, or is it just their own insecurity talking? Most of the time, you'll find that harsh words say more about the other person than they do about you. Maybe they're projecting their own fears, frustrations, or failures onto you. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Either way, it's not your job to carry their baggage. And here's the best part, when you stop taking things personally, you take away their power. Imagine someone throwing a punch, only to realize you're made of Teflon. Their words just slide right off. That's what emotional armor feels like. But let's be real, this isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming resilient. You'll still feel hurt, anger, or frustration sometimes, and that's okay. The difference is, you won't let those emotions control you. Instead, you'll acknowledge them, learn from them, and then let them go. So, here's your challenge. The next time toxicity comes your way, channel your inner Stoic. Pause. Reflect. Ask yourself, is this true? Can I improve? If not, release it. Picture their words as clouds, and yourself as the sky. Because here's the truth, you are so much bigger than their negativity. And with a little practice, you'll learn to stay unshaken, no matter what storms come your way. Step 4. Boundaries are love. Yes, really, let's get real for a second. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're not mean. They're not about shutting people out. In fact, boundaries are one of the most loving things you can do, for yourself and for others. Here's why: if you don't set boundaries, you're essentially teaching people how to treat you. And spoiler alert, toxic people will take full advantage of that. Think about it. When you say yes to things that drain you, when you tolerate disrespect, or when you let someone cross the line over and over again, you're sending a message: it's okay to treat me this way. And guess what? They'll keep doing it. But here's the tough love truth: you're not a martyr. You're not here to sacrifice your peace, your energy, or your sanity for someone else's comfort. Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't waste their time trying to please everyone or fix other people's problems. Instead, they protected their peace like it was Fort Knox. And you can do the same. Let's break it down. Say you get a text from someone who always leaves you feeling drained. Maybe it's a friend who only reaches out to vent, or a family member who guilt trips you into doing things you don't want to do. What do? You don't reply. Not right away, at least. Take a step back and ask yourself, is this conversation going to add to my life, or subtract from it? If the answer is subtract, you have every right to hit pause. You don't owe anyone your energy. Or maybe it's a family member who constantly brings up a topic that triggers you. Instead of engaging in the same old argument, try this: I love you, but this topic is off limits. Boom. Boundary set. It's not about being rude or dismissive, it's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being. And here's the key: you're not responsible for their reactions. Repeat that to yourself as many times as you need to: I'm not responsible for their reactions. If someone gets upset because you set a boundary, that's on them, not you. Their feelings are not your job to manage. Your job is to take care of yourself. Now, I won't sugarcoat it, setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first. Toxic people are used to getting their way, and they're not going to like it when you start saying no. They might push back, guilt trip you, or even try to make you feel like you're the problem. But here's the thing, their discomfort is not your responsibility. Think of it like this, boundaries are like training wheels for healthy relationships. They teach people how to treat you with respect. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. Start small. Maybe it's saying no to a last-minute request that you don't have the energy for. Maybe it's walking away from a conversation that's turning toxic. Whatever it is, remember, every boundary you set is an act of self-love. So, here's your challenge, the next time someone crosses a line, don't just let it slide. Take a deep breath, channel your inner Stoic, and set a boundary. Say, I love you, but this topic is off limits, or I'm not available for this right now. And if they push back? Repeat after me, I'm not responsible for their reactions. Because here's the truth, boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier, more respectful relationships. And when you start setting them, you'll be amazed at how much lighter, freer, and more in control you feel. Boundaries are love. And you, my friend, deserve all the love in the world. Step 5. Embrace the art of letting go. Let's face it, life is a constant ebb and flow, a series of moments that come and go like waves on a shore. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Nothing lasts forever. Not the good times, not the bad times, and certainly not those dumpster fire relationships that leave you wondering, what was I even thinking? Clinging to the past, whether it's a failed romance, a toxic friendship, or even a missed opportunity, is like trying to hold on to water with your bare hands. It's exhausting, futile, and ultimately, it keeps you stuck. So, why do we do it? Why do we replay the what-ifs and if-onlys in our minds like a broken record? The answer is simple, fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of regret, fear of being alone. But here's the thing, fear is a terrible advisor. It whispers doubts and keeps you tethered to situations and people who no longer serve you. The antidote? Radical honesty. Ask yourself, does this align with who I want to be? If the answer is no, it's time to let go. Letting go doesn't mean you're giving up or admitting defeat. It means you're choosing yourself. It means you're saying, I deserve better than this. And guess what? When you release what no longer serves you, you create space for growth, for joy, and for people who truly align with your values and vision for your life. Think of it like cleaning out a cluttered closet. Sure, it might feel overwhelming at first, but once you've cleared out the old, you're left with room for the new. And trust me, the new is so much better. Letting go is an act of self-respect, a declaration that you're ready to move forward. So, thank the past for its lessons, wish it well, and then release it with grace. The future is waiting, and it's brighter than you can imagine. Remember, space equals room for better people, better opportunities, and a better version of you. So, take a deep breath, loosen your grip, and let go. You've got this. Look, breaking free isn't easy, but you're a Stoic now. You've got a 2,000-year-old playbook at your fingertips, and it's packed with timeless wisdom. First step? Recognize toxicity for what it is. Whether it's a draining relationship, a soul-sucking job, or even your own negative self-talk, call it out. Guard your energy like it's the last slice of pizza at a party, because it's precious, finite, and yours to protect. Choose rationality over chaos every single time. Emotions might scream, but your inner Stoic knows how to whisper back with clarity and calm. And here's the kicker, you decide your worth. Not your ex, not your boss, not even that nosy neighbor who always has an opinion. Relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, should feel like sunlight warming your skin, not a cage closing in. If it feels heavy, it's time to reassess. So, what's your move? Drop a comment below. Ever use Stoicism to ditch a toxic situation? Let's viralize wisdom and create a community of unshakable minds. And if you're ready to level up, smash that subscribe button. Next week, We're diving into how to silence self-doubt with Seneca. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Stay unbreakable, stay unstoppable, and remember, you're the sky. The clouds? Just passing. Thanks for watching. Now go out there and own your power.